We're here with Dan Cohen, ladies and gentlemen, and he made a doc. He's from Uncaptured Media, new news outlet, and he's here with us. He did a documentary on Haiti, and here's a preview of it, a little trailer for it.
A nation in turmoil, ravaged by empire, neighborhoods at war, the state on the brink of collapse, revolution in the air. A man at the center of it all. To some, a villain.
Jimmy Chérizier alias Barbecue, li te vle guider nous non façon pour nous voler même j'appelle.
He's a criminal. He's not revolutionary.
To others, a hero.
4 minutes à chercher manger pour manger.
He is a revolutionary leader.
C'est grâce à déporter avec Monsieur Barbecue qu'a fait vivre.
Join us as we seek to uncover the truth about the uprising in Haiti today.
Pas qu'à avancer devant là, devant avancer à tirer sur. Attention. Wait, watch out, come here. Tout système nan dit nous pas qu'à révolutionnaire parce que on dit révolutionnaire pas contre les chouquets. Je me dis ça oublie. Mais nous connaissons nous pas les chouquets nous pas connaître. Bandit à moun qui a fait révolution.
La prend là, li entre, li sorti là.
They have to have a revolution. It's got to happen.
So Dan Cohen, who's made that documentary, Dan, tell what in the hell is going on in Haiti, and who is that guy Barbecue, who everybody thinks is their hero?
Right. Well, so if you read about Barbecue, if you like Google Jimmy Barbecue Chérizier, that's his name, Jimmy Chérizier, his nickname is Barbecue, you will read that he is the worst guy in Haiti. He's committed all these massacres. He likes to he got his nickname Barbecue because he likes to barbecue people. He likes to burn people alive. And, you know, that he's just the worst guy and he's responsible for every problem there. And that the U.S. basically has to go in and intervene and take him out. So, I mean, to probably anybody who's watching this show, that should suggest that he's actually not that he's the opposite. And so basically this project, so the documentary is called Another Vision Inside Haiti's Uprising, started with this outlet Haiti Liberté, which is a Haitian outlet that has an office in New York. And my co-director, Kim Ives, is the English language editor there. And so basically they recognize that this guy Barbecue is like a real deal, you know, wants to lead a revolution, wants to basically completely change the system where Haiti is a neo-colony of the United States, of the West, and has been for a long time. And, you know, people live in the most abject, extreme poverty and exploitation in the world because of Washington. And so they recognize who this guy is, basically before anyone else in the media did. And then after the president of Haiti was assassinated, Jovenel Moise was assassinated in July 2021, I interviewed Kim Ives, and he said, yeah, you know, there's this guy Barbecue, this is happening, and this is kind of what this assassination we think is about. And so I was like, well, can I go meet him? You know, can we go interview him? And so we went down there. About 2 weeks later, we went down there again the next month in August of 2021 and filmed the documentary. And it took about a year of editing. But basically what we do is go through the charges against Chérizier. And what we found in our research is it all comes back to National Endowment for Democracy funded human rights groups and media outlets that get like echoed throughout all the mainstream media. So when you read the New York Times or the AP or any of the human rights reports on this guy, it all goes back to the NED, which we know NED is CIA.
Yeah, so the NED stands for the National Endowment for Democracy. The NED is how the government funds propaganda, like people like Bellingcat. We've talked about them. They're the ones who lie about Syria and everything. So the NED gives them money. So now the NED is giving money to, if you hear negative stuff about this guy, Jimmy Barbecue, it's being funded, that coverage is being funded by the NED, which is a CIA cutout in the United States government.
Is Jimmy Barbecue passing out Viagra so that they can
so they could do rapes? Because that's what they always say.
That's what these guys do. They're madmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He took the page right out of Gaddafi's book. He was doing that. He was committing chemical weapons attacks on babies in Syria. He helped Assad with that.
Wait, why is he called Barbecue for real? Is it because of the?
Because when he was a kid, living in his neighborhood, there were a bunch of other Jimmys, and his mother sold grilled meats on the street, and so he just became known as Jimmy Barbecue.
That's quite a different story from the.
He likes to burn people, whatever.
People alive.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
So the part that he got the nickname because he burns people alive, that comes from the CIA NED, right?
That's actually. Yeah, I mean it's the source that I found for that is Vice. That was in Vice has been the main propaganda kind of organ against this. They've done a whole bunch of video reports.
Vice is CIA. If people don't know, Vice is not what you think they are. Vice works directly for the CIA.
You should see the brave reporter who goes deep undercover to take an Andrew Tate man class and look at him scared. And then he said we all just stand up and say, like, do you think you're a reporter, honey?
Okay.
So Barbecue is a former cop. He was like a real serious cop who was basically trying to protect it, do good for his neighborhood and sort of, believed in the system. And then for political reasons, he got burned by the system and was like, wait a minute, this is bullshit. And, and so through this process, he went from like straight shooter enforcer of the system to like, we have to overthrow this apartheid system. And he's not from he's not like an ideological like Marxist Leninist revolutionary who's trained in all. He's like he is shaped by his experience of being burned by the system, of being blamed for massacres that didn't happen, essentially, that were not massacres. But it's very similar to Syria, for example, that they take like fighting and say that's a massacre, so they erase one side and then inflate the deaths on the other side. Like in Syria, you could not talk about people that were killed by like US backed death squads in government controlled areas, and then the media would talk nonstop about anyone. They'd even fake stuff in opposition controlled areas. It's the same stuff in Barbecue's area in Haiti, in his neighborhoods that he controls, that he's a social leader there. They will not talk about a massacre that we document, the Delma 6 massacre, the Lower Delma massacre. We documented it. We're the human rights groups that are funded by the NED. They completely ignored it. We're the only people who have investigated that, Haiti Liberté and myself. They won't talk about it. But then they fake a massacre. And if you Google the La Saline massacre, there's 1 million articles on it. And it's in every AP report and everywhere you read about Barbecue. And we investigated that, and it's bullshit. It was not a massacre. It was a battle, and Barbecue had nothing to do with it. And, frankly, in Haiti, where it's essentially a collapsed state thanks to the U.S., there's a lot of violence. There's essentially, strongmen or armed neighborhood groups battling for control. And that's what happens. But, so there are a lot of parallels that you see in an enormous amount of propaganda. And no one has really just examined this stuff until Haiti Liberté, Kim Ives, myself went and really took a look at this. And I told Kim before we went down there, I was like, Kim, I don't know that I'm going to agree with you about Barbecue. I don't know, man. And, lo and behold, he was right. And that just turned into this documentary. So,
Where do you see? Where do you see it ending up in Haiti? Like what I see is that the capitalists will just crush whoever tries to stand up against them, like they've always done. What do you see happening?
The thing is, there have been different kind of leaders to emerge from the slums, like neighborhood leaders, social leaders, who have weapons, but they haven't gotten to the level that Barbecue has gotten to, where he's been able to. So his organization is called the G9. It's called the Revolutionary Forces of the G9 Family and Allies. Mess with one, you mess with all. Okay, that's the full name. Called the G9. A lot easier. He has managed to unite a whole bunch of different armed groups, some of which were formerly involved in criminal activity, some of which were not, and they're all against criminal activity now, like kidnapping for money, rape, that kind of thing. And they are fighting bitterly, really serious fighting against the criminal groups that are involved, that do kidnap and rape and kill and, innocent people. And so those groups are basically work on behalf of the oligarchs that are tied to the U.S. Okay, so the thing is, because Barbecue has been able to unite so many different armed groups, that's like roughly, more than half of Port-au-Prince, more than half of the capital, he has gotten to a level that figures before him, who were social leaders with weapons, they hadn't gotten to. So he presents a threat to the United States, but the main problem for the U.S., which totally wants to carry out a military intervention, invasion in Haiti and take out Barbecue, is they know that if, a bunch of Marines go and land in Port-au-Prince, the Haitians will reject that, and they will rally, maybe even rally around Barbecue. Haitians do not want foreign interference, especially U.S. interference in their country. They're extremely sensitive to it. And they are a proud people, despite living in the worst conditions, some of the worst in the world, because they're the only country to have ever had a successful slave revolution and then defeat 3 empires, the British, the French, the Spanish. That's just an incredible feat. And so Haitians carry that pride with them, that anti-colonial pride. And so if the U.S. sends puts boots on the ground to go take out Barbecue, it's going to be like, it's not going to go well. And the U.S. knows that. So the U.S., what it's been doing for months, is trying to find another country and trying to get the UN to give its blessing to basically an invasion itself. So it doesn't look like it's a U.S. initiative. Mm-hmm. In the UN Security Council, Russia and China have basically blocked it. Like, they're not going to go along with it. It's not Russia and China of 20 years ago. And, so now the negotiations have been going on for months. Biden administration is trying to get Trudeau to agree to it. What they ended up doing a few months ago, when I was there in November on a reporting trip for Redacted. If you all know Redacted with Clayton and Natalie Morris, they commissioned our reporting. So Kim and I went when there was this major showdown going on at the at a fuel terminal. Basically, what had happened is the IMF removed fuel subsidies, so the whole country erupted in protest, and the G9 said, we're going to go block the fuel terminal, so nobody's, the rich aren't going to get gas until either the prime minister resigns or until you put the fuel subsidies back. And so we went to report on that. And so the U.S., what it ended up doing is sending in armored vehicles, like highly advanced armored vehicles, to the Haitian police, and they were able to basically dislodge these guys from the fuel terminal. And that kind of ended the episode. But it's still just simmering, and so it remains to be seen. It's definitely conceivable that the U.S. could go in and, assassinate him, carry out some kind of operation. He's well aware. And in our reporting for Redacted, we asked him, what is your response to that? The U.S., he's under U.S. sanctions, UK, EU, Canadian, and UN sanctions. They want to take him out. And, he was basically just like, what he said is, it doesn't make me hot or cold. He's like, what's going to happen? We'll see what happens at that point. If they want to come, we're ready. And so, it remains to be seen. But the G9 is a powerful force that has It has popular support. It's not like everyone supports them, but it's growing. And one way for Chérizier, for barbecue to really gain in prominence is for the U.S. to come in and come after him. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Dan, where can people find this documentary?
So on my YouTube channel, Uncaptured Media, you can find it. There are 3 episodes. So, you know, watch all 3 of them. It's free. You know, if you want to like subscribe to my Substack or something, that's appreciated. But, you know, check out Haiti Liberté's reporting too. They're really the only independent channel talking about Haiti, and doing good reporting on Haiti. And then, you know, I do what I can. So you can see it on my channel, my YouTube channel, my Rockfin channel, I got to upload it to Rumble, Uncaptured Media. So yeah, check it out there. It's on my Twitter too. You can just find in my Twitter bio, I have the playlist on YouTube.
Fantastic. Everybody can check out Uncaptured Media at YouTube. You can see the 3-part documentary on Haiti, and check out Uncaptured Media for all their up-to-date reporting. Dan Cohen, hey, what was that thing I wanted to have you back on for?
For Peter Hotez.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, we're going to have him back on. We're going to talk about that. Okay, thank you, Dan Cohen, very much for coming on, and thanks for the info. We'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, we're doing live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Nashville, Northampton, Massachusetts, and a lot more places. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets and become a premium member while you're there. You get access to all of our stuff. See you then.